Hello Super Coaches and welcome to Waiver Watch for round 19. Starting off at hooker, where we've actually got quite a few options this week, but your number one pickup, if he's available, is Kurt Donahue at the Dolphins. He's owned in 49% of the league, so he's not widely available, but if he is, he's your best bet. Otherwise, you got options like Chris Randall, Sam Verrills, even Mitch Kenny is a decent pickup this week, and Talon De Silva at Parramatta is also worth a stash. At front row, the standout option this week is Xavier Willison, named to start for the Broncos. He's owned in 40% of leagues, but if he's available, he's your best pickup this week. Otherwise, you've got options like Leo Thompson, Francis Molo, Alex Twal, or Mwaki Fodawaker, all pretty available. At the back row, I think the standout pick here is Celesi Feketi at the Roosters. He's only 13% owned, so he's pretty widely available, and he's been looking really good on the back row for the Roosters. Otherwise, you've got guys like Luke Garner, Victor Radley back from concussion this week, Kitione Katoga, Samuela Fainu, or Jordan Riku, all pretty widely available. In the halves, and we've actually got a few decent options this week, but I think the standout is Tanner Boyd at the Warriors, only owned in 9% of leagues, and he's looking like he'll start for the rest of the season and may even kick goals, so he's your number one pickup here. Dean Hawkins, only owned in 13% of leagues, is another great option, and then you've got guys like Jake Clifford and Toby Sexton. At 5'8", the standout here is Latu Fainu, owned in 32% of leagues, so this may be your last week to pick him up. He's been looking really good for the West Tigers, so he's your best bet here. Otherwise, Ben Hunt is back this week and only owned in 44% of leagues, so more widely available than usual. So if you need a 5'8", those are your best two. At centre wing, Sione Katoa, back for the Sharks a few weeks ago and has looked really good in his return. He's owned in 42% of leagues, but he's got a lot of upside, so he's, I think, the best option here. Otherwise, lots of centre wings here. Charlie Staines, Brian Kelly, Casey McLean, Thomas Jenkins, Stafford Toa, and Braden Burns, all pretty available if you need a centre wing. And at fullback, we've actually got a couple of decent options this week. I think the number one pickup is Tane Tuapiki at the Warriors, owned in 17% of leagues, so very available. And Chance Nickel-Klokstad is sidelined for a while, so good job security. And Tyrell Sloan has won back a wing spot at the Dragons and is coming off a good performance last week. He's 34% owned, but a decent option. And Will Kennedy, owned in 46% of leagues, but if he's available, he's a good pickup. That's all for Waiver Watch this week. We'll see you next week.